has generated much controversy in the city of Gordon, Georgia. In this video, you're going to see why Attorney Boone should not be serving as attorney of this mayor and council, or the city for that matter. You will see that the mayor and council members are trying to do their darndest to get rid of this mayor because they no longer want his services. You will see that clear cut. However, you will see Councilman AUDIT fight to keep him. You will also see, if you watch very closely, that there's a great possibility that signs are being thrown to let people know what they should do. Now, don't take my word for it. I will personally, at another video, clip those signs that have been brought to my attention, and I will put them on a video separate for you, so you can see what is being sent from the attorney to Councilman AUDIT. Now, I don't believe that the people of Gordon really wanted this type of government that you see here. And we cannot understand what connection there may be with Judge Robert S. Reeves in his decision to put an attorney back over this mayor. And you will see how he addresses her. You will see him talk about EEOC complaints and the things against, as if though this is not his client. As if this is not the city that's paying him money to represent them on the legal affairs of the city. Let's sit back, and I'm going to be stopping and pausing, and I want you to come make up your own mind concerning this controversial mayor, Mayor Ann Whipperloo, the first black mayor ever in the city of Gordon, the first female mayor ever, and the first black female mayor ever in the history of this city. And you're going to see the late Terry Reese in this video. He is the one that said he didn't no longer trust Mr. Boone, the attorney, and he said he cannot work with people that he did not trust. He told me personally that these people are taking the taxpayers' money, and he wanted to see them in jail. That's what he told me personally. Listen. This is the Ghetto Free Press, and I travel from city to city, about 11 of them, because you do have a right to know what is going on under our type of government here in the state of Georgia. This is Mary Ann Whipperloo. The city attorney, Joseph Boone, and who can vote. It all centered around who could vote. But regardless of who could vote, they definitely didn't want Joseph Boone as their attorney. Mr. Terry Reese just asked the motion to terminate Attorney Joseph Boone's contract.
Motion has been made and seconded that we terminate the contract with the city attorney.
This is the city attorney. I understand he's been the attorney for 30 years or more. Listen, please.
Good.
You notice his head motion? Did you notice that? Why did he shake his head? What, is he sending a signal? Or does he have a headache?
Does not have a contract. He works strictly.
All right, here again. Councilman AUDIT say he does not have a contract. How many videos have you seen about an engagement letter with various people that the mayor want to appoint or sign or approve for office, and he say, where's the contract? Yet we see unequivocally that they never did a contract on Attorney Joseph Boone. This is what needs to be highlighted in the newspaper, Channel 41, 27, and Channel 13, to show the complete history of what's troubling the taxpayers in this city that's causing confusion in this city, but it seemed as if though nobody wanted to get to the root cause of what is going on, and maybe about the 1.5 or more $1 million that Terry Reese personally told me about and showed me documents that's very, very questionable, which I have restrained myself from addressing. I thought that we would have somebody in the state of Georgia or at the federal level who would look into this, but apparently nobody give a damn. And so now we're going to have to step it up a pace with the people who have come to me, both black and white, are tired of what's going on and want nobody to step up to the plate and take on any individual or agency responsibility.
Well, you know, the council, we approve it and everything, and we can edit, but, you know, it doesn't have to have a contract.
He say, you don't have to have a contract. That's what he said. He said they operate at the will of mayor and council and that they do not have to have a contract. This is Councilman Terry Eady making this statement, but I got other videos I'm going to clip, and I want you to hear his words concerning other letters of engagement, including be a basket audit, investigation, and forensic audit, which they have aggressively shot down repeatedly for over a year.
Further discussion? Motion has been made and seconded. We take a vote. All in favor?
There'll be a roll call vote, please. Question by name.
That was Joe Eady asking for a roll call vote, and that's good. They need one. But if you look at the other video, you will see almost without exception, this black councilman, Freddie Densley, Smallwood, and Terry Eady always vote the same way. You will see a couple times the black councilman, Densley, seem as if he don't know what to vote for. You will see him act like he's scared, as if though they have something on him, or maybe they have something on both of these people. Somebody, I don't know. I have been told some things, but I will not mention these things that have been told me because I can't substantiate them. But I understand that somebody's coming forth pretty soon, and then all of this can be opened up for the general public. So we see that between 1, 2, and 3, these council people who are elected by the people seem like they are always voting together. I didn't know this when I came into the town, so I had to be educated by the citizens who live there. Listen please.
Terry Reese, yes.
Terry Reese said yes.
Terry Eady abstained.
Terry Eady abstained. Bill Bassett, the auditor, asked a question about the definition of abstaining. Why does he abstain all the time? I thought that abstaining was when you maybe have some type of interest, or if there's a conflict of interest, or close to recusing yourself, but just abstaining in all these votes, and then he turned his head like he's trying to tell this brother here, Mr. Smallwood, how he should vote. But I'm not trying to tell you what happens here or in other council meetings. What I'm saying to you is go back and watch the videos and let the videos shape your mindset in terms of when he cast a vote and he cast a vote and black councilman Freddie Densley cast his vote. I want you to watch them and you come to your own conclusion.
No.
Yes. Council Dean? Yes.
You can't vote.
The mayor said, yes, she want him out of there. She don't want him as mayor no more, as the attorney no more. The mayor don't want the attorney no more. Now, if you got this much dissension on a council, they don't want to pay him no more. They don't want his services anymore. And maybe these other people do, but that's enough division and confusion on a city government entity to maybe make some changes. Don't common sense tell somebody in Gordon or in Atlanta that they need to make some kind of changes?
for the mayor to vote.
Now, Mr. Edie might be right. He just may be right that the mayor does not have a vote. Mr. Edie may be right. He's been on the council for probably 25, 30 years, so he may be right. But don't you think it's also right that if these people don't want Attorney Boone as their mayor, as their attorney, don't you think that that should mean something to somebody? Why fight to keep somebody who cannot represent this man? So he say on another video, he never gone to Mr. Boone for any legal advice in 15 years. He also say he and an EEO some kind of complaint and how they... I can't understand how these... Now this, Gordon is not alone in this. They got the same problems in Meigs, Georgia and other cities. And it seems as if though the attorney, the city manager, and police or members of law enforcement are controlling city government and the money.
Of mayor as the chief executive of this city, the mayor shall see that all laws and orders of the city are faithfully executed, appoint and remove the cause with confirmation of appointment or removal by the council. All officers, department heads, and employees of the city, except otherwise provided in the charter. Long section.
Attorney Joseph Boone says to Terry Edie, who does not want him as his attorney, the attorney tell him, that's the wrong section. That's the wrong section. Now let's see what comes up. Attorney Boone said, hang on for a minute. Why are these elected officials just receiving a copy of the city charter, and who is responsible for keeping it updated? Undoubtedly, the attorney may have a more updated copy. But if the attorney does have an updated copy, why did not someone furnish these council members elected by the people to carry on the affairs of the city? Why did nobody give them a copy of the update? You know, there are questions to be asked, and answers need to be given. This is Attorney Boone, and he just happened to have a copy for everybody on council. Isn't that strange as well? He just happened to have enough copies for everybody on council. That was a police officer for the city of Gordon.
Section 8 of the charter. The mayor, as he started off with section 3.22, powers and duties of mayor. As the chief executive officer of the city, the mayor shall continue to read council read section 8.
Participate in the discussion of all matters brought before the city council and vote on such matters only in the case of a tie vote, except that the mayor may vote in all elections for officers who are elected by the city council in impeachment or removal proceedings, whether there is a tie or not.
If you think the attorney
once again, Terry Edie is getting ready to respond to Councilman Reese.
Still have to look for 12. Till the city attorney is appointed by the council and serve at the pleasure. It takes 4 votes.
He takes 4 votes. Four votes. Joseph Boone, the attorney, is making it clear. He's pointed it out before the elected officials and the people of Gordon and the Georgia legislators that he got it right. And he's saying that it requires 4 votes. Now, to me, if I was at the GMA, somebody from GMA or somebody from the legislature, somebody in somewhere in the state of Georgia, they have seen these videos because I've sent them to them. If they saw this and if there's a conflict, now I know they don't want to get involved in city business, but it seems like me, common sense would tell them to say something.
The mayor is not included in the list.
Council, would you read 4.12?
Now the mayor asking them to read 4.12, another paragraph. Now, once again, this mayor wants Joseph Boone gone, regardless of what the book say, regardless of what the charter says, regardless of what Georgia state law may say. This mayor and Reese want that attorney gone, saying that he cannot represent them in good faith. And if you have an attorney and you don't think he's gonna serve your needs, then why should you have him? He can't communicate with you. You feel that he don't have your best interest at heart. So why keep him? Who on council would want to have 1 or 2 people who don't have confidence in their legal advisor?
Read 4.12. The city shall appoint a city attorney who shall be a member of the state bar of Georgia, who shall have actively practiced this law for at least 1 year. The city attorney shall serve at the pleasure of the city council.
Now, shall serve at the pleasure of the city council. Now, if you have every X number of years, maybe every 2 years, every 4 years, if you have a new city council, or if 2 to 4 council members comes on the council, then to me it makes basic common sense to a person with 3 senses to know that these people should vote or at least verify the paperwork that is already on file of an attorney. Seems like they would say, well, this is our attorney, we've had him so long. Do you all confirm by affirmation that we keep the same attorney? But these people for 30 years apparently has never had the opportunity to vote and say, we don't want this attorney anymore. And so I just don't believe under our form of government that is a good rule for any city in the state of Georgia to follow. I think that if these new council members are elected and then a new mayor to be elected, don't you think that mayor should have a voice in terms of saying, well, it could be by affirmation. I really don't care. But the point is, they should be able to say, yes, we want to retain him for another 2, 4 years, 8 years. That's common sense. Of course, what do I know? I'm just a retired military veteran. I ain't been in civilian life. But I tell you what, I'm sure as heck is learning now.
Okay, read on. The city attorney shall be responsible for representing and defending the city in all litigations in which the city is a party.
Now, how can Joseph Boone represent the city when you have seen on video with him talking with the city clerk, Tawana Brown, as if though he is attorney for her and not the rest of the council? You will even see on other videos where Attorney Boone seemed to be more caring and concerned about the clerk having an attorney to represent her than an attorney to represent the mayor in her position, in her elected position. And this same councilwoman right here say, Attorney Boone, in short form, how can you, as a request an attorney for the city clerk, Tawana Brown, and yet not for the mayor? And then she stood up very strong and powerful, and I commend her for that, for doing that too, because it's only right. Jesus said God said he had no respect of person. What I say unto one, I say unto all. So if you want her to have an attorney, then you should pay for the elected mayor attorney. But no, she had to go out and try to find money for herself to take on what some people say is to remove Mayor Whippaloo by any means necessary.
Be the prosecuting officer in the municipal court shall attend the meetings of the council as directed, shall advise the city council, mayor, and other. This
is the black councilman Freddie Densley. He seems to most always, without exception, vote with Councilman Terry Edie and Smallwood. Now, I don't want you to take my word for it because I may be lying. I may be biased. I may be one-sided. So what I would like for you to do is just take your time and Google Garden City playlist and watch all the votes that are cast and see if I am on point or out in the sun in the desert.
And employees of the city concerning legal aspects of the city affairs, and shall perform such other duties as may be required of him by virtue of his position as city attorney. The city council shall provide for the compensation of the city attorney. One another is the difference between 4.12, read section 3.15.
The mayor now wants them to read another section. All of this is because they do not want Attorney Joseph Boone over them in this city anymore. Here's another lady. She does not want Joseph Boone as the attorney of the city of Gordon. This lady have told me many times she does not want Joseph Boone as the city attorney because she said, well, I'll keep that, but somebody must help this city government. And I don't think they're going to find answers nowhere in the city. They're going to have to come from the outside. Councilman Reese again.
Section 3.15.
Voted, except that authorized provided in subsection D of this section. 4 council members shall constitute a quorum and shall be authorized to transact the business of the city council. Voting on the adoption of ordinance shall be by voice vote, and the vote shall be recorded in the journal. But any member of the city council shall have the right to request a roll call vote, and such vote shall be recorded in the journal. Except as otherwise provided in this charter, the affirmative vote of 4 councilmen shall be required for the adoption of any ordinances, resolution, or motion.
You made a motion?
Right.
For a vote.
We have 4 votes. The mayor vote.
That's fine. The mayor can vote.
Well, if the mayor can't vote.
Once again, Joseph Boone interjects that the mayor does not have a vote and he needs 4 votes. Councilman Reese said, yes, she can vote. So there's a conflict. Why haven't the state of Georgia clarified this to the mayor over the phone, or why have not the attorney got it in writing from GMA or from some entity in the state level to resolve this? Because people are still asking the question, in truth, who is our attorney? Now, I know it's before the courts and stuff are like that, but if this city is having this type of confusion based on written law, just imagine how many other cities is going through the same thing, and this may be why all of them is catching hell on the backside of heaven. Listen, please.
Then how can we have a quorum if
Now, the question Reese asks, because they tried to get something on the mayor, saying that they was operating outside of Sunshine Law, and and that they violated the law by having too many councilmen in the mayor's office or something of that nature. So Reese is asking, well, how could we have a quorum, so-and-so in that situation, but don't have a quorum now? And of course, you know, the attorney, he's a master at the language of the law, and so I'm sure he got an answer to give him. So let's listen.
I did hear you, Council. Excuse me. What was that question?
I say if the mayor cannot vote, how could they have done a form with 3 meetings with you in that situation?
Well, voting having a problem, you have nothing to do with each other.
The council, we've been told about how up and outside this council. The mayor has a vote.
I'm sorry, what you say?
We've been told by others in GMA that have documented us that the mayor has a vote in matters pertaining to the city. She can cast a vote.
You certainly do. Not as a member of the council.
She is considered a member of the council, per se, then.
Okay.
Once again, there's a conflict with information coming from GMA and other places in Atlanta. I thought the council, including my late finance chair, Reese, he should have gotten a letter from the people that told him this, because it seems to me, as I travel to 10 other cities, that many of these cities is getting double talk even from Atlanta, and so they don't know what the heck is going on. And so I just want to interject that, because somebody needs to step in to try to straighten all this out before somebody get hurt. Because you can see if you go to Meg's and different areas that I've been to, it's getting pretty hot, and there's no answers coming down to address these cities collectively. They'll try to deal with one city at a time, but this could be catastrophic. It could be in other cities across the state, and just people are afraid to speak out because of what they may receive as a result, which is retaliation from the same people and officers that are appointed and been in place for some 30, 40, or 50 years. Listen, please.
If that's the case, and she's a part of the council, Mr. Reese, there's been multiple violations of both meetings back, because her own attorney stood up in court and said she was not. Notice this attorney pointing his finger at the mayor, talking about ugly stuff against the mayor. How can an attorney, Judge Robert S. Reeves, the Honorable Robert S. Reeves, how can an attorney represent a mayor and council and city with this type of language in the general public in the state of Georgia, with all of the Georgia bar leaders watching in shock and awe as this mayor and council try to carry on the affairs of this city? Now, somebody ought to say something, and nobody should say nothing. He argued for an hour. She was not on the attorney. No, her attorney.
Prince George said she could vote. His concerned sister said she could vote. You there, Mr. Boone. You said she could vote. She is considered a member of the council.
Look, let me just say this. Y'all do what you want to. I don't own this job. If you got 4 votes, I'm fine. I'm gone.
Now, he's one thing he clarified. If you have 4 votes, I'm gone. And if the law states that you must have 4 votes, then they need to get the 4 votes. And if they do not get the 4 votes, then they need to just forget about it. Forget about it. Forget about it. But common sense should tell any august body that if you have these many people that does not believe their legal advisor can give them adequate legal counsel, that he or she need to be gone. Common sense, in my opinion, should tell somebody in Atlanta, somebody at GMA, some representative, some senator should pick up on some common sense to me. Maybe Georgia law and maybe the charters don't leave room for common sense. But if I had that attorney for me to represent me, or if Judge Robert S. Reeves had an attorney represent him like this, and the treatment that this mayor says she has received, I don't believe Judge Reeves would accept and keep paying an attorney.
Oh, that's the mayor. But it doesn't settle one other thing. I still owe money up to the point that I do get terminated. And I told you that last time, and nothing's happened. So what's going to happen, regardless of how this whole thing's out?
Once again, he pointing his finger. He talking direct to the people that's paying his salary. And so maybe they need to give him, like they give the people, a 30-day notice or 2 weeks notice and let him move on. And if it was, it seemed like maybe an attorney, maybe after they see people don't want him, maybe just ought to step down for the good of the city. You know what I mean? Peace.
I'm going to have to enforce my right to get paid.
You know what I'm saying? You got right. You think you're not denying this. You submitted a $20,000 invoice to be paid.
Right.
I thank Terry Reese for speaking up. There's one thing about this black councilman right here. Unlike Freddie Densley, I've never seen that beautiful brother and humble brother speak out like this on any issue, not one issue. But I'm glad that God have given this brother the guts to stand up and speak his conscience, and we got to give him credit, because after all, the people of Gordon voted him into office to do just what he's doing. Right or wrong, at least the people that voted him into office know what his position is on this issue. And so we all should commend him. And whether we like Joseph Boone or not, we got to commend him, because he's not sitting down. At least he's speaking out for what he believes in, as well as Terry Eady. Make no mistake about Terry Eady. He sure speaks up. It's up to other council members to refute what he says, or to do something or say something, but definitely don't say nothing. Because somebody voted every council member up there. They voted them in the office to be their voice. And they cannot be a voice with their mouths closed. Can I get an amen?
That's a lot of money.
Well, Mr. Baskets did it twice that.
He did not submit that to us. That was over the period of time.
That's since the end of February. You need to read the statement.
Mr. Boone, you got a check for $7,500 and $900 in the month of March.
March 3rd.
How much day is that?
That's the last payment.
So the $20,000, what's that payment for?
That's March, April, and May. You got the invoice. Why don't you read it?
You hear that? You got the invoice. Why don't you read it? Now, they are paying this attorney. Now, how can this attorney speaking like that represent any client? It just don't make sense to me. And once again, I'm going to say it again. I can't understand why the leaders in Atlanta, the Georgia Bar Association, this city council, and common everyday citizens, they should be able to see that there is something gravely wrong here. Now, Terry Reese believed that somebody's taking some money. That was his major concern. Now, he showed me some papers. In fact, he gave me some copies of some. I'm not going to talk about it because I'm waiting, because somebody eventually, if there's any good people left, got to stand up and try to help save this city before it fall apart from within. Let me repeat. Save this city before it falls from within.
Listen, here's what you got. I'm going to give it to you anyway.
I'm going to give it to you anyway. I'm going to give it to you anyway. The mayor steps in. Let's see what happens now.
Well, he made a statement. You know, he doesn't know what I bill for. I want to explain that. You got 4 EEOC complaints.
He highlighting for the public that you got 4 EEOC complaints. I thought he was a part of the city. Why he can't say we have EEOC complaints that I'm dealing with, or at least it seems like he should be concerned about EEO, because it makes the city look bad. Now, it seemed to me as if though it just may be trying to make the council or the mayor look bad. But how can you do that without making everybody look bad?
I had a federal lawsuit filed by Mr. Shinholster. You got just had another. You got the citizen suit, the mayor. You got whistleblower suit by the clerk.
Let me say this. I know you're naming that the EOC. Those are the ones that are under this administration. Shinholster and all the others. We're not a part of this. It's coming under this. I understand that, but I have nothing to do with that.
I'm not saying who did it. You got the first Secretary of State investigation for election fraud. You got the Attorney General investigation for open meetings. Yes, ma'am.
Wait a minute. Now, see, the mayor can't hardly get a word in. And this is an employee by the city. But yet, this is what we have to put up with. And so I'm going to continue to say, and notice once again, This is the attorney, but next to his right, that is the editor of the Wilkinson County Post. So once again, I am saying that there is a conflict of interest between certain council members and the Judy Bailey who you're watching, and yet you have seen people over and over again say, I don't trust Attorney Boone. They say that Judy Bailey is biased in her reporting and don't report the news at all in some cases. Let's continue.
Right now, the motion has been made and set that effective immediately tonight, you're no longer the city attorney.
Well, fine, you got full vote. I'll accept that.
Once again, I'm going to say it again. If the vote was illegal, that should not overshadow the fact that the mayor does not want this attorney. Councilman Reese done stated unequivocally clear that he don't trust him and that he cannot work with people that he does not trust. Doretha have made it clear. Barbara Tolles have made it clear. Now, the people in Atlanta, all due respect, even the Georgia Bar Association, now don't y'all think, just common sense, should tell you that this attorney should not be over a city with that many people who don't want his legal advice. That's common sense. And I'm going to continue to say this regardless if nobody in Gordon have the ability or can see clear enough to understand that something is seriously wrong. Let's go on.
Attorney.
Laura, can you get me a copy of those minutes so I can follow up with Mr. Ritter?
This right here?
Yes, ma'am.
That's how you like. We accepted the motion that you are no longer an accepted. The motion is that they accept that effective tonight, you are no longer a city attorney.
We're going to end it right there. The mayor spoke. The mayor spoke. But above that, did you notice Attorney Green over in the corner? And sometimes there's another clerk. Do you know that a little city with less than 3,000 people have to pay all three of those people? Valdosta have at least 60,000 people. And I've never seen but one attorney there in the last 20 years. I've been in other cities and I haven't seen that. Sooner or later, somebody will have to step in and at least say boo. The governor or somebody. This is the Ghetto Free Press. I do this because I believe in our form of government. I served 21 years in the armed forces, but I never dreamed that I would see a day like this.